Raider Nation, good morning. I know it's early, but I woke up this morning and I was like, I got to get y'all a video because the Las Vegas Raiders just got some great news. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell you why every single Raider fan needs to be hyped up bright and early this morning. You don't want to go to work? I don't even think kids are going to school right now. It's during the holidays. But if there's something that you don't want to do, get your ass out of bed. Be happy, be excited, because the Las Vegas Raiders have locked in a top 2 pick in the NFL draft. The reason? The Atlanta Falcons beat the Los Angeles Rams late last night on Monday Night Football. It was an unbelievable thriller, 27-24. Honestly, I kind of stopped watching at a moment when I saw it was like 24-3. The Rams came all the way back. Unbelievable blocked field goal by Jared Verse, scoop score. I mean, it was incredible. Shout out to Jared Verse from the 5-7-0. But man, oh man, what an incredible game. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass a little bit because I wish I would have been live last night on the Raiders Report. I knew that a lot of things needed to happen for the New York Jets to jump over the Las Vegas Raiders if we ended up finishing with the exact same amount of wins. And I didn't realize that a simple win, a simple Atlanta win over the Los Angeles Rams would have been enough to secure the Las Vegas Raiders with a top 2 pick. I know it's early. Dude, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up literally like 30 minutes ago. I ran my ass in here to Chat Sports, and I was like, I got to talk to the nation about this because I literally was like super fired up about it. But this is why I want y'all to subscribe. I'm a fan just like all of y'all. I get excited when I see things. I want to be able to tell y'all about it. But it is a fact, and it is according to Field Yates. So if you don't follow a lot about Field, he's really big more like for the fantasy game. He does work for ESPN, and he tweeted out late last night that with the win, the Atlanta Falcons win over the Los Angeles Rams, the New York Jets cannot get the number 1 overall pick. If the New York Jets, it's impossible for them to get the number 1 overall pick, that means it is impossible for them to jump the Las Vegas Raiders. So if, God forbid, we beat the Chiefs, we're not going to fall all the way down to 3. So what I want to talk about here today on the program is where the NFL draft currently sits, because I do think that that's very important. I'll also be breaking down what needs to happen for the Raiders to secure that number 1 overall pick. And then what we're going to talk about is what happens if the Raiders do end up beating the Kansas City Chiefs. So I want to roll through a bunch of different things. If you're happy, if you're excited, please hit that subscribe button. Again, man, I was like, I don't even know what type of video I'm going to make. I'm just going to hit record, and we're going to talk about the fact that the Raiders now secure a top 2 pick. I thought the Raiders had a top 2 pick secured after their loss to the New York Giants, but because of strength of schedule. So when I went to bed last night, I saw strength of schedule for the Raiders at .542, and for the New York Jets, who are picking 3. Because, again, the NFL draft right now is Raiders 1, Giants 2, Jets 3. The Jets, though, had that .548 strength of schedule. The Raiders were at that .542 strength of schedule. And I talked about it a little bit late last night in a short and in the video that I did yesterday that, we needed to be able to root for the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Titans, to root for the Bengals to beat the Browns, to root for the Lions to beat the Bears, for the Broncos to beat the Chargers, for the Dolphins to beat the Patriots. I didn't know how many exactly of those games needed to go in the Raiders' way for us to secure this win. However, though, because the Falcons ended up beating the Rams, that now has pushed the New York Jets to strength of schedule at .550. And because they're at .550 and the Raiders are at .542, there is no way for the New York Jets to jump the Las Vegas Raiders, which again means we have secured a top 2 pick in the NFL draft. And holy shit, man, we got an inside track to the number 1 overall pick. If you're wondering why I'm talking so much about strength of schedule, it's the tiebreaker for the NFL draft. It's not head-to-head. So if the Raiders were to finish with 3 games, the Giants, doesn't matter, right? Like, the Giants could still jump us because of strength of schedule if they do not win. Just like if we finish with 3 wins and we have the same wins as the Titans. Doesn't matter. Even though we beat them back in week 5, week 6 at this point. My memory's a blur. But we would have the higher draft pick because, again, of the strength of schedule. So I want to talk about here in just a moment what happens if the Raiders end up beating the Chiefs. But there's a chance that we can root for the Raiders to beat the Chiefs and still have the number one overall pick. Dude, I don't know. I'm getting all tingly inside. Before I get into that, though, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. And I mean this, whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new, it can be hard. But in life and in Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops. And Prize Picks lets you take control. Find your community on Prize Picks. With the new social feed feature, you can share Prize Picks with your friends, copy lineups with winners with a single click. Copy lineups that you like, use them as inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow Prize Picks partners like us and tailor fade our picks in just one pick. So if you see something that I like, you can tail my picks. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365 on Prize Picks. Also, Prize Picks now offers stacks. I love stacks because to me, if I'm really confident on one player and I'm liking him, like if you would have took a stack last night on Bijan Robinson, can't even imagine how much money you've been rolling in. Fantasy season, it's basically over for everybody. I want to give a special shout out to Rebel Montana for winning our Raiders Report Fantasy Football League. Shout out to him. But like if your fantasy season's over, it's week 18, I would imagine it is, you could still get lineups in. With the bowl games, with the playoff games that are coming up here, and basically basketball games every single night, I'm telling you this right now, it's the best time of the year to do Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today. Make sure that you use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So with the Raiders right now currently the number one overall pick and the New York Giants with the number 2 overall pick, it is extremely, extremely simple for the silver and black. You still control your own destiny. If you lose to the Chiefs, no matter what, you have the number 1 overall pick. Doesn't matter. You got it. Number 1 pick in your pocket. Here's the cool part, though. I did see that Travis Kelce's going to play. I did see that a lot of the Chiefs starters are going to be playing in this football game. It's going to be an interesting game no matter what. But what would be unbelievable, because last week cheering for the Giants, it still felt weird. Not going to lie, I think we can all agree on that. Rooting against our team, it felt weird. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around, rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Raiders. To me, the Chiefs are the number 1 team that I can't stand. And if you want to let me know down below which team you can't stand the most, maybe it's the Niners, maybe it's the Chiefs, maybe it's the Broncos, the Chargers, the Cowboys. To me, those are the teams that I can't stand the most. So the fact that I'm sitting here in the final week of the season thinking about, holy shit, yeah, I want the number 1 overall pick, but rooting for the Chiefs kind of makes my blood just I don't know, it gives me the ick, as if my wife were to be saying it. But I don't really want to root for the Chiefs. You don't want to root for the Chiefs. So imagine if the Raiders could still get the number 1 overall pick and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a man that always likes a good deal, and this is a short video. I know it is, but it's early in the morning, and I wanted to be able to tell y'all that we have locked in a top 2 pick. If this video gets 1,000 likes, 1,000 likes I think is always a good benchmark to tell me whether or not you guys want me to do something. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll go live for Giants-Cowboys on Sunday, because that game starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The Raiders and Chiefs game starts at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. So essentially, if the New York Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys in Week 18, we no matter what have the number 1 overall pick, which means we can root for the Raiders to kick the Chiefs' ass, and then we can hope that Aiden O'Connell goes out there, freaking slings the rock a little bit, and we could sit up there and be like, I told you, Pete. Probably should have put Aiden O'Connell in a little bit earlier, but that's neither here nor there. So before I hop on out of here, because if you don't know, sorry, I just got a bloody nose, so it's really cold in Dallas, and I always get bloody noses when it's cold. If you don't know, I will be live later on today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, like I always do. It's kind of wild. The final live show of 2025. We're going to be giving away a signed Max Crosby We're going to be giving away a signed Max Crosby helmet. Also, we're going to be playing a little bang game, and I hope that you guys are ready to rock and roll. I'm going to have a little bit of a prize for all the people that show up and show out all the time. So we're going to have a lot of fun. 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on the Raiders Report. And I know it's early, but I really couldn't wait anymore. I wanted to tell y'all, we have locked in a top 2 pick with the NFL draft, with that Falcons win over the Los Angeles Rams, because as it stands right now, the Raiders' strength of schedule is .542 with a 2-14 record. The New York Jets have a 3-13 record with a strength of schedule of .550. So no matter what, we can't fall behind the New York Jets, as stated by ESPN insider Field Yates. It's a good day to be a Raider. It's a good day to bleed silver and black. I know I'm still waking up. I haven't got my coffee yet. But we still got a job to do. And I really want people to wrap their mind around the fact that the Jets are going to be a team that's aggressively looking for a quarterback. And if your team trade back, that number 1 pick, again, is even so much more important. Because the Jets got, I think it's like 4 or 5 first-round picks. I think it's 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, 2026, 2027. Let's at least make it a little bit entertaining. So I'm hopping on out of here. Peace out. Raiders got great news. No matter what, we got a top 2 pick in the NFL draft. If you want even more videos from me, make sure you click the subscribe button right here. I'm not going to lie, Chugs and I made a whole other video for y'all. You're not going to get to see it because I thought the Rams were going to beat the Falcons, so we were talking about a rooting guide. Throw it out the window. If you want to see some stuff maybe about Max Crosby, maybe you want to see some stuff going down about the NFL draft, tons and tons of content is going to be coming out here. You just got to click these videos and subscribe.